Hello, and welcome to episode 17 in the Slingshot series. I'm your host, Nithya Karia, a lifestyle coach, helping women consistently prioritize their well-being so they can achieve and feel good with just 5 simple habits. Today, we are tackling this idea of feeling good in terms of a concept called biofeedback. And this is really an idea, this concept, that we are always receiving information, that our bodies and our minds are working together through chemical reactions that our brains communicate through, our body really communicates through. Our bodies send these signals when we are happy, when we are sad, when we are scared. There are a series of different chemicals that get released within us that trigger responses that we read as emotions. So this idea of feeling good is really powerful because it isn't this superficial concept of simply just happiness, but it's really an intuitive guide to creating a safe space for ourselves. When we feel safe, we are able to really live and show up and have access to the best parts of ourselves. Like quite literally, our brain actually functions differently. And this is something no doubt that you have experienced in your life, right? Our brain works differently when we feel calm, when we feel safe, when we are in a trusted space versus when we feel worried, anxious, threatened, scared. So how do we actually start to take advantage of this? This opportunity to tap into the feedback that we're always offering ourselves is really accessible through a single question that we ask ourselves. And that's just, how do I feel right now? By asking ourselves this question on repeat, just throughout the day, or even if you're just getting started with this high vibe process, just doing it in the evening or journaling about it. But the more we start tuning in to this idea of being tuned into ourselves, the more our reflex starts to get built. We start to do that rewiring that teaches us, that starts to create that high vibe habit of checking in, that's saying, yes, it matters how I feel. And that's important because how we feel changes everything that we think, that we do, that we dream, that we, go after in life, because it changes what we see. So it is vitally important to not just consider it, but to start to prioritize it. Now, a place that we can start to evaluate how often we're already doing this, or how aligned our values are, how maybe fulfilled we feel, or at peace we feel, productive we feel, is really to look at our calendars. So I want you to encourage you to take a look at your planner, your calendar. You can even do this just as a general feeling. Like if you close your eyes right now and you asked yourself, how do I feel about my life? Am I accomplishing? Am I feeling like I have the connection that I want with the people that I love? Am I feeling passionate about what I do, or at least purposeful in it? Not every piece of our life always has to be this sort of amazing, on top of the world feeling, but ideally we do want all of the pieces in our life to be contributing to an overall sense of satisfaction. So when you look at your calendar, your planner, what is being reflected back to you? Have you put in items that are important to you, important to your well-being, important to things that matter to you? Whether that's more time at work or time with family, time for passions and hobbies, right? Whatever is important to you, is it showing up? Or is it something that you're trying to squeeze in, which means it probably gets squeezed out pretty easily? When things are at the bottom of our list, when we don't assign or really acknowledge a high value to items on our list, they very easily get bumped down when somebody else or something else asks for our time. So I encourage you this week to reflect back, not just on how you feel in this moment, but also to take a look at your calendar, because a big piece of the high vibe habits is to first really transition from being reactive to being responsive. And then to an even higher level of really being proactive about our happiness, our health, our well-being, because all of that really does contribute to the quality of life that we experience, to the quality of our relationships in our life, and to what we really dream up, what we conjure up in our minds and really go after. So think about this, and when your emotions come up, remember they are important. They do not have to determine this, be the sole determining factor in which direction you go, but emotions are information. That is biofeedback. So use how you're feeling as a guidepost, as a sort of understanding to get the lay of the land of where you are and where you want to be. Sending all my love and gratitude. Thanks so much for showing up this week.